When I first touched down in Bangkok, finding love was the last thing on my mind. I was running away, really. My marriage had just imploded, my career was a dead end, and Thailand, with its sun-drenched temples and endless smiles, seemed like the perfect reset button, a second chance. Or so I thought. My story, like so many others, began under the neon haze of Sukhumvit. I met her in a small bar. The music was loud, the air was thick, and the laughter flowed as freely as the drinks. Her name was Nok. She seemed different. I told myself that, anyway. While other girls were loud and demanding, she was quiet. She asked about my life, and her laughter felt real. She told me she was from Isan, the rural northeast, and was working in Bangkok to support her younger siblings. Her story was a classic, but it pulled at my heartstrings and my wallet. I started seeing her every night. At first, it was just about companionship, a friendly face in a foreign city. But soon, the thought of an evening without her felt empty. She'd cook for me, things like somtam and sticky rice, introducing me to a taste of her home. She introduced me to her friends. Then one night, she whispered that she wanted to leave the bar life behind, if only she could afford to. That was it. The hook was set. I told her I'd help. A few thousand baht here and there didn't feel like much. The exchange rate has a way of making you feel richer than you are. Soon, it turned into tens of thousands. Then she pitched her dream, starting a small business in her village, maybe a shop or a salon. I wasn't just giving her money, I was investing in our future. So, when she brought up marriage, it felt like the final piece of the puzzle. I felt a sense of purpose I hadn't felt in years. I was needed. I was loved. This was it. The wedding was small, but it felt incredibly genuine. Her entire village turned out. Kids ran around barefoot, elders smiled with warm, gap-toothed grins, and monks chanted blessings that hung in the hot afternoon air. I paid the sin sod, the traditional dowry, 500,000 baht, about 15,000 US. It was a stretch, more than I really had, but I kept telling myself, love is worth it. For the first few months, life was perfect. We rented a little apartment in Chiang Mai, far from the city's temptations. She was the perfect partner, affectionate and caring. But then, the cracks began to appear. She'd vanish for hours, giving vague excuses, running errands, visiting friends, helping a cousin. Her phone was always locked, and if I asked who she was texting, she'd get defensive. Then came the money requests again. Her mother was sick. Her brother had a motorbike accident. The family's water buffalo was lost. The emergencies piled up, one after another, faster than I could possibly verify. When I'd hesitate, the tears would start. "You don't trust me?" she'd whisper, her voice trembling with hurt. And like a fool, my guilt always made me give in. The truth came crashing down one evening. I came home early from my teaching job and found her on a video call. She was laughing and flirting, in perfect English, with another foreign man. The moment she saw me, her face froze. I didn't have to ask who he was. The realization hit me like a physical blow. I wasn't her husband, I was her job. The next few days were a blur of rage and utter disbelief. She eventually admitted she'd been helped by other foreigners before me. "But you are different," she insisted, her voice pleading. "I love you more." The words felt so empty, so rehearsed. I packed my bags, ready to leave, but she clung to me, crying, promising she would change. And I stayed, partly because I desperately wanted to believe her, and partly because I was just too ashamed to admit to anyone, especially myself, that I'd been so completely played. A month later, she was gone. The apartment was empty. Her phone was disconnected. I went to the police, but they just sighed. "Happens all the time," one officer said, flicking ash from his cigarette. "You can't buy love, my friend." I spent weeks trying to find her, visiting old bars, calling mutual friends, even driving out to her village. Her family pretended to be shocked, but I could see the lie in their eyes. They were all in on it. The wedding, the dowry, the entire relationship. It was all a well-rehearsed performance. The truth didn't just break my heart, it shattered my trust in everything. I hadn't just lost money. I'd lost a dream I had built entirely around her. In her eyes, I was never a partner. I was a payday. I left Thailand, trying to piece my life back together. My friends back home didn't get it. Some laughed. "What did you expect?" they'd say. Others just pitied me. It took a long time to understand that what hurt the most wasn't her betrayal, but my own desperate blindness. I wanted love so badly, I'd willingly ignored every single red flag. 2 years later, I came back to Thailand. Not for romance, but for closure. I found myself walking those same Bangkok streets. The neon signs, the thumping music, the lonely foreign men sitting at the bars telling themselves this time is different. This one is real. And then I saw her. She was at another bar, laughing with a man who looked just like I did 2 years ago. A bit older, a bit lonely, and completely enchanted. She didn't see me at first. Her hair was shorter, but her smile was just as bright. For a fleeting second, our eyes met. I thought I saw a flicker of something, not guilt, but maybe sadness, or maybe I just wanted to see it. She turned back to her new customer, and her laughter floated over the music. I walked away without a word. That night, looking out at the city from my hotel window, I had a realization. Thailand didn't scam me. I scammed myself. I came here looking for love, but all I brought with me was my own loneliness. And in this city, there are people who can smell that from a mile away. I still think about Nok. Maybe, in her own complicated way, a small part of her did care. Maybe not. But I know for sure that any love built on a foundation of desperation and money is destined to crumble. These days, my time in Thailand is different. I volunteer at an English center in a small town, helping kids find new words and dream bigger dreams. I still love this country, the food, the people, the culture. But I see it with clear eyes now. And maybe, just maybe, that clarity is the real second chance I was looking for all along. Thanks for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, I'd appreciate a like and a follow. It helps more than you know. Take care out there.